Well, tonight is going to be an interesting one because it is going to be the first official night stealth camping in Dave. You've got cameras there as well. You honestly wouldn't have a clue that I'm going to be living and camping and just sleeping in the van this evening.
Come back on. I'll print it off.
Perfect. Thank you, mate. Cheers, mate. If I was parked up in the middle of the forest, I wouldn't be getting this service. I've obviously got to look to build on that. Tonight is going to be particularly interesting because without doubt, this vehicle is the least stealthy vehicle you could probably ever camp in. I'll be honest, that the whole thing of stealth camping, I don't really know what it is anymore. I think it used to be a lot about having a vehicle that looked like a builder's van and, you know, parking up in certain areas to see if you could stay overnight, or just trying to be a little bit more discreet. However, nowadays with van life in general, I don't actually think you need to be particularly discreet. I think it's a lot more accepted than what it was maybe 5-10 years ago. 4 o'clock and the sun is already setting. Oh, for fuck's sake. Pay at pump only. I never ever carry my wallet anymore. So let's try that again. I need to start bringing a wallet again. But I'm just so used to paying everything on the phone. Right, round 2. Look how dirty the van is. Bloody winter. Pay at cashier. Right, we're all stocked up. Fuel to the brim. For those of you that are interested, £103.54. Right, here we go. Very exciting. We are T-minus 30 seconds away from what we are going to be calling home for the night. Oh God, I thought, don't stop reversing. Oh my God, what a lunatic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Premier Inn Hotel, where we are not going to be getting a room in the hotel. This is the first time I've been to this one. The choice now is mine. Where do I want to park up for the night? Over here looks quite good. I'm trying to find a level, flat spot. Wow, this car park is massive. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I reckon that's a good little spot to park up. So here we are, parked up in Dave, in the Premier Inn car park. It is quite big. Over there is the Premier Inn Hotel, which we will pop into in a minute to see how much a room cost for the night. The first thing I'm noticing is you've got cameras up there, which I would assume would be just car park security cameras as well as ANPR cameras. And then you've got cameras there as well, which, to be fair, is pointing directly at the van. Right, first thing I need to do is to activate stealth mode, some may say, just to stop people looking in. So for those of you that haven't seen, this is the inside of Dave and my camper van that I have fully restored over the last year. And when I first bought this van, it looked absolutely nothing like this on the inside and the outside. On the outside, this van is the least stealthy thing ever. As soon as you look at this van, the first thing that you see is an actual camper van. It is not stealthy in any way, shape or form. However, here we are parked up in the car park, and I wanted to see if I could actually get away with stealth camping in the van. But that's only going to be possible because of the new feature that I've now added, which is very simple, but it's going to make a hell of a difference. And that is this right here. Well, it's a curtain, which is going to add a bunch more privacy from the cab area to the actual back of the van, which is, you know, your living space, which I only installed yesterday, but I'm very excited to try it out because that's just going to divide this front area from the back area, and the front area is just going to remain completely like a normal standard van. I've been wanting to add this curtain for a while, but it's just on a couple of poppers here. And then stealth mode is officially activated when I just draw this over like that. So now, when I just stick that there, like that, that is all Velcroed on, all the way down. Look at that. That is brilliant. And now the whole front portion of the van is completely cut off. Of course, you lose a little bit of that space on the front, like I can no longer use the passenger seat. But the fact is, you can park up in areas like this where I am now in the Premier Inn car park. You can draw that across and no one would suspect that there is anything going on inside the van. Loads more privacy now. And also when I've got the heater running, a lot of the heat and the warm air, instead of being kind of wasted in the cab area, is just going to keep this whole kind of area a lot warmer. So this isn't insulated or anything, but it is a nice thick material, so the heat shouldn't just push straight through it. If I show you from a distance what it looks like, you honestly wouldn't have a clue that I'm going to be living and camping and just sleeping in the van this evening. If we go to the front as well, look. You can't see anything at all. No leaks of light, and all of the lights are on inside the van. Literally nothing. That is brilliant. Now what I want to do is I want to go into the hotel and see how much it cost to stay for a night in the actual hotel. To be fair, I could have actually parked a little bit closer, but I didn't want to, purely because this is all quite slopey. Whereas down there is a little bit more flat.
Let's come back on. I'll print it off and then come.
I just wondered if you had any rooms available over the next couple of days.
If you do it online, you get the best rate online. Here it's always more dearer.
Oh, really?
It's expensive.
Okay, all right, I'll have a look online then. All right, cheers, thank you. Well, I didn't get a price for you. I was trying to be a little bit sly and deceiving, just so I could get an idea of how much it cost. But if we have a look online, we can compare the different room prices as well. And little do they know, I've got my own little ensuite mansion just in the car park here, and it's only going to cost me £1.49. Here he is. What a sad, sad life I live, Will. But the things I do for a bit of fun and a bit of mischief. God, I am a sad bastard. Yeah, quite sad when you think about it. Camping in my van, in a Premier Inn car park. Very sad, really. So to stay here, a standard room is £113. I'm quite interested, that's just for one night. I'm quite interested to know how much that would have been if I would have booked it in person, out of interest. Maybe £120, just to know how much they add on to that. And here it comes with a super comfy bed, a power shower. I don't know what a power shower is, just a normal shower. Don't know why they need to put power into that. Free Wi-Fi, and you'll get a great night's sleep. You can have a look at the rooms there. You get tea and coffee facilities, double king-size bed or a king-size, power shower, and a desk. Here inside Dave, I might not have a power shower, but for 1 or 2 nights, I don't think that's particularly necessary. I do have my own ensuite bathroom, which is just in here. Perhaps not as glamorous, but it does the job. Right here I have my own sofa single/pull-out double bed, which you'll see later. And I also have my own desk with a full-on working tap with running water. I've got a fridge for all my goods, which currently I don't actually have much in there. I've got my own personal heating system, which actually I'm going to chuck on right now because it is getting a little bit nippy. And I am in my own safe, very personal, comfy space. And there's actually a reason that it costs £1.49 instead of £113 a night. One, because it's a van, but also you can actually stay in car parks like this now. So I've actually got an app on my phone, which is not Park for Night, which is the normal app that I would use to find all of my park ups. This app is actually called Horizon Parking, and this is not sponsored in any way, shape or form. The app is basically just a paid parking app, and I actually think it is a great thing for people that live, camp, or just live full times in their vans. For van life people in general, I think this is such a great thing to have and to know about. Where we are right now, Premier Inn, Red Hill, Reigate Hotel, I can actually book to stay at the car park for £1.49, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Parking spaces located on Premier Inn, Reigate. The spaces are suitable for vehicles up to the size of a large 4x4. The spaces are available 24 hours on all days. You can enter and exit the car park multiple times throughout your duration. And then we can actually also see pictures of the car park, and this is exactly where I'm parked up. I'm going to book a car park for 4 o'clock because that's kind of when I came in here, and I am going to book it for 11 o'clock tomorrow. Turns out it isn't £1.49. They've absolutely done me there. I thought it was £1.49, but it's actually £8.49. I've successfully booked myself into the Premier Inn car park, and I have saved myself a whopping £113 to stay in a room there, minus the £8.49. I've saved myself about £105, which is fantastic. The reason I think this is actually so handy is because there's many times when I've personally been on the road, and many other people that live in their vans full time, where sometimes it's a nightmare to try and find somewhere to park. 99.9% of the time when I go out in the van, I try to find places where you don't have to pay and they're a little bit more secluded and off the beaten track. However, it's not always possible to do that. And if you're on a long road trip, sometimes you need to park up in local towns and busy areas to use services and wash your clothes or whatever it is. But being able to actually park up in a place like this for £8 for the night, somewhere that is safe, secure. Yes, it's a little bit strange and bizarre that I'm literally in a hotel car park, but it can often be quite convenient coming to a place like this, not having anything to worry about, not being in the middle of the woods, worried about doggers or boy races turning up. The fact that I'm literally just a stone's throw from the town centre, that if tomorrow I wanted to go to the gym, I wanted to go to the leisure centre to go swimming or whatever it was, I could, because I'm that close. Plus also the nice thing is, Premier Inn do breakfast, so in the morning we're going to go and grab ourselves some breakfast from inside. When I had the roof rack built for the van up in Accrington a couple of months ago, I actually lived in an Asda car park for 4 days, exactly like this, in the van, paid for parking, £5 a night it was in the Asda car park, and it was absolutely brilliant. Accrington is not an area that I know of at all. I don't know how safe it is. I don't know where to park up for the night. Sometimes you don't always want to be scrounging around, struggling to find places to park up for the night. And if you can pay £8 like I have tonight, or a £5 in an Asda car park, then why not? It doesn't always have to be the beautiful picturesque park ups in the middle of the countryside, driving down narrow roads. Sometimes it is really just about parking up in areas like this and knowing that you can pay a bit of money and you're not going to get shafted by the ANPR cameras and get a fine in a few weeks. I think it's well worth it. Don't get me wrong, tonight certainly still feels like a bit of a stealth camp, because I'm pretty sure they're not expecting somebody to be living in the van in their car park. Now, normally I would cook myself an absolute feast. However, you may or may not have noticed that the fridge is pretty empty. And the reason is because tonight we're not going to be cooking. I thought, when I'm in a place like this, so close to the town centre, let's see if we can get ourselves a delivery to the van. It's only going to be a Domino's pizza, because why not? I've not had a Domino's in a long time. And a £14 large. However, is that for delivery or collection? Right, I have gone for a Domino's Mighty Meaty. However, I'm actually customising it. Instead of mushrooms and ham, we're getting garlic spread and olives. Delivery charge £2.99. I wish I had a voucher, but I don't. Oh, should I get some potato? Oh, God. Oh, 7 chicken strips. Oh, don't tempt me. Cookies. Oh, my. Right, I'm going for some chicken strippers. Chicken strippers? Oh, my God, they've done me. Caramel choo-choo. Well, this is great. I can actually choose the Premier Inn. So, should I say driver instructions in camper van at the back of the car park? Just for a laugh, and to actually test if the delivery driver would actually deliver it to the door, I'm going to put in yellow. Not that the van is yellow, it's more like a sandy beige colour, but everybody seems to think it's yellow. I can promise you it's not. In yellow camper van in the back of the car park. I'll tell you what, if I get a knock in half an hour with a delivery of chicken strips and a pizza, that is going to be sensational. £23.98. Christ, they added on some there. Let's go for it. You only live once, don't you? Right, we now have half an hour to wait, and we'll keep an eye out and a listen out to see if the pizza gets delivered to the van door. Here he comes. The driver is officially on the way. He's here, and we are over here. Right, here he is. I can see him. Here he is. There he is. There he is. Okay, I'm going to have to get out. I'm going to get out, make it easier. Hello, mate. Right. Yeah.
Right.
I wasn't sure if you'd read the delivery things or not.
Yeah, luckily I did. It's yours, mate.
Cheers, mate. Perfect. Thank you, mate. Cheers, mate. Well, my God, I have to say, that is and was extremely successful. The bloke literally pulled up next to the van. That is what you call a delivery service. A Domino's pizza, chicken strips as well, delivered to the van door in a Premier Inn hotel car park. Does it get any better than that? Or should I say, does it get any sadder than that? The answer is, I don't know. You let me know down in the comments. However, I am very excited for what we have in here. Oh, yes. Oh my God, what a treat. And some chicken strips as well. Why did I not get more garlic dip? Because that is the absolute best thing about Domino's. Oh, what a treat this is this evening. If I was parked up in the middle of the forest, I wouldn't be getting this service. As sad as it is parking in a place like this, it's actually quite nice to have the convenience and the accessibility to do stuff like this. My good God. I do like a Domino's. I have to be honest, I don't get it regularly because I know there's a lot of salt in it, but my God, it tastes good. So we got some pepperoni, some black olives, some ground mince, some Cumberland sausage, and some garlic paste on there, as well as the chicken strippers. And in the van, it is just a mild 19 degrees. Absolutely perfect. I'm absolutely loving life right now. Apart from I wish I had a bit more garlic sauce. They've obviously got to look to build on that and claim the 3 points at home against the Brentford team. Don't have so much game time, of course, and as a partnership, they don't have a lot of game time.
2 changes here, Noni Madueke and Martin Odegaard replace Bukayo Saka.
There's no denying that what I'm doing in the van tonight is very simple and, to be honest, exactly what I would be doing at home. But the fact that I can be in my own little space like this, somewhere where I'm extremely comfortable and I've built it to my own personal style and touch, and I can just have things like a takeaway pizza and just chill out and watch the football. This van really is my own little man cave, that's for sure. With that being said, if you do actually want to have a van like this yourself, then you could, because in fact you could actually own this exact van in less than 2 weeks time. For £5 only, I am raffling off this van to one of you guys, and on the 19th of December one of you is going to be driving away with this van. Owning a van like this honestly gives you so much potential freedom and so much potential adventure. Not everybody has the time, skills or experience to build a van like I've built, and I'm only able to build it because of what I do for a living, because of YouTube. So the fact that one of you guys is going to win Dave for a £5 is unbelievable. You don't have to come to a Premier Inn car park. However, if you wanted to, you could. If you want to take this van on a 2,000-mile road trip to wherever you desire, you could. You literally have until the 19th of December to grab yourself a ticket to the raffle. This van has absolutely everything you could possibly desire. So if you want to have a chance of winning Dave for just £5, then I'll leave a link down in the top of this video's description. Grab yourself a ticket, and on the 19th of December, one of you could be driving away with this van.
It's predominantly a wide man, Lautaro.
I thought we'd come and have one last look at the car park, which is pretty busy now. You probably can't see much because it's obviously pitch black. It's about 10:30 at night now. I would like to think that all of these people parked up are having a nice stay in the Premier Inn in their own room. It has been a very chilled evening, sat inside the van with the pizza, watching the football, staying nice and warm and cozy, and really treating it as my own personal hotel room. Lots of people have asked me before, Will, how do you lock the van when you're in it? And now the key fob is back working again since I reinstalled all of the cab interior. I just literally lock the van like that via the key. The last couple of nights I just haven't slept well in the van, and that's purely because of been parking up in some very isolated, secluded places in the middle of the woods, which at times does creep me out a little bit and my mind starts to play tricks on me. Being in a bit more of a built-up area definitely makes me feel a little bit more safe and less vulnerable. So I don't think I'll be having any issues with my mind scaring me this evening. The only issue that I believe I'm gonna have is that I'm gonna be too warm in here tonight, which isn't a bad thing to be complaining about, is it? So on that bombshell, I'll see you guys in the morning. I tell you what, that is rather cold in there. There's actually no condensation really compared to last time. This was all completely condensated from the inside. Maybe this curtain has also helped with the condensation in the front. Well, you can probably see the car park is a lot quieter than it was when I went to bed last night, which makes a lot of sense. Everybody has obviously all gone off this morning to their jobs, and I'm now going to go and grab myself a breakfast at the Premier Inn, because I wasn't aware of this. You don't actually need to stay in the hotel to be able to pay for breakfast. So I can actually just walk into the Beefeater now, pay a tenner or something like that, and get a full English breakfast buffet. Unlimited breakfast, £10.99. Let's have it. Oh, nice. Wow, what a morning. A free breakfast. Normally £10.99, but the guy gave it to me free. God knows why. I think we were just having a nice chit chat, because I actually arrived at breakfast quite late, 10 o'clock, and I think they close at like 11:30. So all of the food was cooked fresh then and there. And then, yeah, at the end he said, oh, don't worry about paying. So what a stay this has been. £8.49, free breakfast, lovely accommodation here. I can say a very successful night stealth camping in Dave. What I also found out is that the cameras there, they're not actually ANPR. They're just normal security cameras, so I could have actually just parked there overnight and I wouldn't have got a ticket anyway. But sometimes it's not worth the risk, because you don't always know if that's the case. Don't forget, if you want to have a chance at winning Dave in just 10 days time, then grab yourself a ticket to enter the raffle. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.